Hello, trainers! Professor Palm here, and welcome back to Summer Splash. I am sorry that I stoked you guys out with the weather trio first, but with the week we've had, I'd say the weather trio is justified to talk about first. After all, there's a tropical storm outside for a lot of us right now, and I was thinking that talking about the weather is important because that's a major part of summer. But today, we're going to talk all about an entire water type line. I was thinking, how about we go back to the very beginning and talk about the very first water type Pokemon? What the? What are you guys doing here? I was talking about water type Pokemon. I didn't want to talk about fossils. I'm not a paleontologist or an archaeologist. I'm a Pokemon professor. I was talking about the very first water type Pokemon. Oh, I get it. You guys are the very first water type Pokemon. You're prehistoric Pokemon. I should have been more specific. I was actually talking about Pokemon in chronological order on the Pokédex. Well, I might as well talk about you guys another time. So I need you to go back to the cave you were in. Not in a mean way, just that's where fossil Pokemon like this live. And I promise we'll talk about these guys another day. Sorry, trainers. What I actually meant was in chronological order, not with the fossils, but I promise you I'll cover them another time. So let's start off with the very first water types on the Pokédex. It's time for Turtle Power with our friends Squirtle, Wartortle, and Blastoise. It's time to get shell-shocked. When beginning in Professor Oak or even Professor Sycamore's lab, we had the choice between three Pokemon, either Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle. There was never a wrong choice with who to choose. Starting off with Charmander was always fun because getting a Charizard was great. Going with Bulbasaur was also a great choice because who wouldn't want to have a ginormous dinosaur plant? And of course, there was the little turtle itself, and it was ready to get us shell-shocked. And of course, there was the little shell-shocker itself, Squirtle. As I said before, there was no wrong choice with who you would choose for a starter Pokemon. A lot of people went with their choices, but with people like me, we went the Gary Oak route, and we chose Squirtle. I have to be honest. When I was given the chance to choose either Squirtle, Charmander, or Bulbasaur, I went with Squirtle. Why? Because I really liked turtles as a kid, and plus, I really liked the Ninja Turtles a lot. So I thought, let's go with Turtle Power. After all, these guys are turtles, and they age very, very slowly. So not only do you have this Pokemon by your side as a kid, you have it your entire life. And even your kids will have it, and even their kids will have it. Imagine having a partner that always stays with you. I know how that feels also because I chose Squirtle as a partner when I played Pokemon Red Rescuing Team, the Mystery Dungeon series. And I couldn't have asked for a better partner. As time has gone on, I would definitely say that Squirtle is my all-time favorite water-type starter. Hey, other water-type starters that they have out there are really cool as well, but in my opinion, I think Squirtle, Blastoise, and Wartortle are the greatest that you could go with. Now, why don't we talk about these incredible water turtles? But before we begin, I want to give a huge thanks to TechraNova on Etsy for my shirt for this video, the Water Tortoise Within. As you can tell, I'm a giant fan of Squirtle, and I love this shirt. It looks incredible, and if you want to buy it, you could also buy it off Etsy as well. TechraNova is one incredible artist. Please check her out on Etsy. If you really like any of the designs, please buy them. I may not be sponsored by her, but I want to give her a big thanks for this incredible shirt. I can't stop talking about how much I love Squirtle, Wartortle, and Blastoise. So, why don't we talk about these incredible Pokemon and learn the true meaning of Turtle Power? And I think the best way we could do this is starting off with the little blue turtle itself, Squirtle. You know something, Professor Oak? You really put the oak in soak. So, let's talk about the turtle Pokemon you gave us and we raised. Ah yes, it's all coming back to me now. Such great memories of choosing this little tiny turtle Pokemon. Did you know that when Squirtle are born, they actually can't use any water-type moves? Since they're little babies, the first thing they do is they foam at the mouth or just produce foam. as we would call them, little bubbles. I guess you could say this Pokemon produces tiny bubbles. The shell all around Squirtle's body can act as a shield to this Pokemon. You see, when Squirtle are born, other than being foamy little turtles, they don't have very good shells. Their shells are very soft and can crack very easily, so please be careful about that. But you should also know that when this Pokemon senses danger or it hears danger close by, it tucks its entire body into the shell. Also, while it's inside the shell, this Pokemon can also slide. It can slide just like as if Mario or Luigi threw a Koopa Troopa shell. The grooves that you see on the shell of Squirtle aren't just mainly for protection or using the move Withdrawal. These grooves actually make a lot more water resistance to this Pokemon, making Squirtle a really fast swimmer. Even as Squirtle gets older, it still has the ability to make bubbles with the move Bubble Beam, and it also has Bubble. Speaking of which, the foam on Squirtle's mouth that it produces when it's a baby is very, very clean, so this Pokemon can technically give itself a bubble bath anytime it wants. And hey, if you like taking bubble baths, maybe have a Squirtle join you in the tub, because it can be your bubble buddy. Squirtle also has a little bit of a naughty side to it, as when this Pokemon's fighting, it likes to play a little trick on its opponent. Squirtle will tuck its head into its shell, catching its opponent completely off guard. The opponent might walk towards Squirtle, and Squirtle will take its head out and blast its opponent back with full force. While it's not that powerful as it gets older, it definitely is equal to a blast of a garden hose at full blast, which is not a lot of fun, but it also can make it hard for the opponent to take a good look at this Pokemon when attacking. While you can choose Squirtle to be your starter Pokemon as a partner, you can also choose to have this Pokemon as a partner in some of the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games, like in Red Rescuing Team, for example. Also, Squirtle is a playable character in the Super Smash Bros. World, and it's owned by the character, the Pokemon Trainer. As most of you know, Squirtle was captured by Ash Ketchum in the episode Here Comes the Squirtle Squad, where he caught the leader, or as I like to call it, the Squirtle with the cool shades. If you didn't know, Squirtle is actually the most common used by major characters in the Pokemon anime. As we established, Ash Ketchum caught one. Gary Oakes started off with Squirtle for his journey. May also started off with Squirtle. And, of course, the rival Torino also started off with a Squirtle just as well. So that's 4 major characters that have chosen Squirtle. That's pretty impressive for a little tiny turtle. Squirtle's also a good joker to make you laugh, and it's also a Pokemon that is very loyal and will always be by your side. I guess you could think of this Pokemon as Michelangelo of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The main reason I would say that is because Squirtle really likes to have fun, and it really likes to smile and give other people a great time. And if you really look in the anime, you could see that Ash's Squirtle also had a lot of fun being a bit of a mischievous Pokemon, especially when he scared everyone by saying, maybe all our trainers were eaten by the wild Pokemon. I mean, come on, how can you not love this Pokemon with that very cute attitude and that big smile? While Squirtle is based on turtles that live for a very long time, you have to learn that with age comes greatness. And also, this Pokemon gets even stronger as it evolves. While I really do love Squirtle a lot, I think it's time that we move on and evolve our little Pokemon. That's right, time to get our little turtle to evolve into Wartortle, the stronger turtle, and in my opinion, the Raphael of this turtle line. Through evolution, not only does Wartortle, the turtle Pokemon, gain darker colors, but it also gains ears, and it even gets a nice furry tail. Oh, let me talk to you about these things, actually, because this is what you want to know about these Pokemon. If you didn't know, Wartortle's fuzzy ears and its tail aren't just for show. You see, with the tail, this is a symbol of longevity, making this Pokemon very popular amongst elderly folks. Also, the tail is made of soft, thick fur, which only gets darker and much more beautiful with age. Through evolution, Wartortle's skin doesn't just become darker, but it gains two incredible, soft, furry, fin-like ears on its head, and its tail is also made of lovely fur. Also, this Pokemon becomes a little more aggressive, or should we say, it gains a little bit more of an attitude, as it really likes to fight. And I kind of can't blame this Pokemon, as it really does look like a teenager in a half shell. I guess you could call this Pokemon the Raphael of the Squirtle line. Wartortle's big fuzzy ears aren't only just for show. While this Pokemon can hear a lot better with those big ears, it also helps this Pokemon steer while it's underwater, making it a very fast turtle. While a lot of people see turtles as slow on land, with this Pokemon, you better know how to swim, as this thing can catch up to you even if you're a mile away. Unlike little Squirtle, who ducks into its shell when it senses or notices danger is lurking, Wartortle instead prefer to stay out of their shells. In fact, these Pokemon like having a bunch of scratches and even a couple scars on them, because this proves that this Pokemon has a lot of toughness. And some other Squirtles find that attractive, and some of them even find that as a mark of a battle, showing that this Pokemon's shell can withstand a lot. Also, when we're on the subject of the shell, as time goes on, this Pokemon can get a lot of algae on its shell. Some people claim that this shows that a Wartortle has aged. Also with age, some people claim that Wartortle can live over 10,000 years. That's incredible! Imagine choosing this as your starter Pokemon, so you'd have a buddy with you not just for your life, but even your children's and even your grandchildren's lives. Wow, for turtles, they sure live a long time. I guess it really is your best friend till the end. While I said Wartortle don't really like to hide in their shells and they're tough Pokemon, they do have a major weakness. If you sneak up on this Pokemon and tap its head, it'll duck its entire body into its shell out of fear. However, this shell isn't big enough to hold in that big fuzzy tail, so oftentimes that stays out. As you know, every starter Pokemon has a first evolution, a middle evolution, and a final evolution. I have to say, back in the day, the middle evolutions were a lot of fun. Back then, we didn't really have the whole gothic or angry look to them, but Wartortle kind of did. It gave you a bit of the aggressive teenager, or the teenager with attitude, and I'm not talking about Power Rangers. I was saying that Wartortle was kind of like Raphael, and to be honest, it kind of is. It's the turtle that really likes to fight and always has a hunger for battle. So, just like some of us were as kids who like to fight and argue, this is definitely a Pokemon that can be very relatable in your teen years. While it's really cool that Wartortle can live up to 10,000 years and be at your side for that long, I have to say, I would rather have my turtle evolve to the full level. Yep, that's right. It's time we evolve our little Wartortle into the canon itself, Blastoise. And trust me, this Pokemon is as powerful as a battleship. You know the old saying, it's time to bust out the big guns. Well, with Blastoise, the shellfish Pokemon, you literally are busting out the big guns with this massive turtle. This Pokemon is the signature Pokemon of Gary Oak, who was given this by his grandfather, Professor Oak, for his 10th birthday. This Pokemon is a walking blaster, and if you think that those rocket cannons coming out of its shell are just for show, oh, you are sadly mistaken, my friend. When Blastoise fires its water cannons, you better stay out of this Pokemon's way, because you may think, oh, it's just a little water. Yeah? Well, Blastoise has the ability to fire jets of water out of those cannons, and it can puncture thick steel without even breaking a sweat. Blastoise also have very accurate cannons. Both of these rocket cannons can shoot water up to 160 feet away. So even if you think you outran this Pokemon, nope, this Pokemon can always hit you that far. Just like with its previous evolutions with Squirtle and Wartortle, Blastoise can also tuck its entire body and head into its shell. And in case you were ever curious about it, yes, Blastoise can also put away its cannons into its shell. So, sometimes this Pokemon can have a much more peaceful and friendly appearance instead of looking like it's ready to go to war. With the amount of water that Blastoise exerts out of its rocket cannons, people wonder how this Pokemon manages to stand up without facing any recoil. Well, it has a trick. You see, Blastoise knows the heavier it is, the less of a recoil it will get. So it usually tries to take in a lot of water and make itself even heavier so it will not face any recoil, which is a very smart move. However, a major drawback to making itself so heavy is this Pokemon's speed lowers drastically, and it also has a hard time moving. But you should also be worried if this Pokemon falls. If it falls onto another Pokemon, it has a high chance of making the other one faint. After all, it's doing an OTKO smackdown. And hey, it's kind of like a giant brick wall falling on top of a Pokemon. So hey, at least you get a free win under your belt. But if you're a trainer that's falling behind on you, try to stand 6 feet back from this Pokemon, because Blastoise is 5'3", so at least you'll have a couple other inches to help this Pokemon up. Yeah, I don't think you really want a ginormous brick wall of a Pokemon to fall on top of you. If you didn't know, Blastoise is the only 3 final evolution of the starters that did not gain a dual typing. Venusaur never gained a dual typing. You see, it started off as a grass poison as Bulbasaur. And Charizard gained its flying type after reaching its final evolution. Blastoise are exceptionally good swimmers. Yeah, it's kind of surprising seeing how big this Pokemon is and how heavy it is as well. But it's actually really great at swimming. And hey, if you have this Pokemon, why don't you just jump onto its back? It'll be like you're driving your own personal battleship or frigate into battle. And with those cannons, nobody will mess with you. If you enrage a Blastoise or you're seen as its enemy, beware, because this Pokemon can fire blasts out of those rocket cannons just as powerful as 10 fire hoses at full blast. However, if you raise this Pokemon or you earn its trust, not only do you have a great partner with you, but you have your own personal bodyguard that will always have your back. And hey, since this Pokemon can live for so many years, not only will you have it, your children will have it, and even your grandchildren will always have a personal bodyguard that'll always be ready and armed for them. So, I guess it could be a great gift to give to your children. I guess they would have their own personal water gun fights with this Pokemon. Just maybe tell this Pokemon to dial it back a lot so it doesn't hurt anyone. I like turtles. I'm so sorry, everybody. I just had to say that. But I have to say, these Pokemon sure bring a new meaning to the word shell shock. I mean, wow, are these Pokemon incredible. And the fact that they're turtles means that they'll live a really long time. Just like the Turtwig line, you can have these Pokemon as a baby and they'll still be with you even in your elderly state. That is so cool. Squirtle, Wartortle, and Blastoise definitely define the 2 words turtle power for me, as it's so cool how we start off with a baby turtle that starts foaming at the mouth and gives very tiny bubbles to a bazooka turtle. That is impressive. And hey, I guess you could say that these guys are heroes in a half shell. But they're not ninjas, they're water turtles. If you like to use these Pokemon competitively, give these Pokemon the item Mystic Water to really help them. But it also will help when the ability Torrent activates. If you didn't know, Squirtle, Wartortle, and Blastoise all have this ability. This powers up their water-type moves when the Pokemon knows that it's weak and in trouble. So yeah, sometimes you can think that being in red health is bad, but with a Pokemon with that ability, nope, it's even better when you're using a water-type move, and if you're going second, because that could really, really save you. While I said that these Pokemon can be battling all the time and they really like to battle, they also do enjoy some peace and quiet. In fact, if you go by a little pond, you could definitely find a couple little Squirtles swimming there. Maybe a Wartortle or even a Blastoise watching over the little ones. Blastoise really does like to watch out for the younger ones, as well as the innocent. it is a real hero to them, and a lot of children love this line. After all, who wouldn't want to have your own personal water guns at your disposal? In fact, you'd be the coolest kid on the block having your own personal water gun turtles. Ever since that fateful day at Professor Oak's lab, as well as Professor Sycamore's lab, I'll always be happy that I made the right choice. They both said this Pokemon is one that's really worth training, and they did not lie. I'm so happy with this entire line, and I'm so happy to call it my personal favorite water type line ever for a starter Pokemon. I know there's many others out there that we're gonna meet and that we've had, but nothing comes close to this incredible line. I am excited to see what Quaxly will be in Scarlet and Violet, but until then, this will always be my favorite line, and I'll always be a part of the Squirtle Squad. Now, as much as I really do love Blastoise, I have to say, Generation 6 really introduced something incredible to us. Yep, with Mega Evolution and Professor Sycamore's research, we got to see Blastoise turn into one of the coolest looking water-type Pokemon alive. In Generation 6, we finally saw Blastoise turn into one of the most incredible Pokemon ever with its Mega Evolution. And in my opinion, this is one of the coolest looking Mega Evolutions any water-type Pokemon could get. Just watch that thing transform into that full-on battalion. Yep, that's one of the coolest water-type Pokemon you'll ever have. Mega Blastoise's design blows me away. You had this Pokemon start off as a walking water blaster, and now you must call James Rhodes, because this Pokemon became a war machine! While Mega Blastoise didn't gain any dual typing through Mega Evolution, what do you guys think? Do you think it would have been better as a water fighting, or maybe a water steel? I don't know. I think either of those would have been a great dual typing, especially with the cannon and its stronger legs it has. While Blastoise has that incredible cannon upon its back, I think the biggest standout feature of this Pokemon are the smaller blasters on both of its arms. While these things may look very tiny, they are terrifying weapons. Try to never be on the firing end of either of these. You see, even though they look like tiny little water guns when compared to the big cannon, you really should avoid them at all costs. Because this Pokemon can blast you into oblivion with those. You could not only be torn apart by the water that gushes out of that thing, but you also could drown on land without even going into the water. That ginormous cannon that Mega Blastoise has on its back sure is the stuff of nightmares. Oh, in case anyone was curious, yes, it can tuck that Mega Cannon in anytime it wants to. But wow, just look at that ginormous war cannon it has on its back. It can fire without taking any recoil damage. You see, as Blastoise has Mega evolved, its legs have gotten even stronger, so not only will this Pokemon not be taking any recoil damage, its legs are so powerful that it can't even fall over with all that water it blasts out. That Mega Cannon that Blastoise has, as well as the tiny ones it has on its wrists, are so powerful together that I would not want to be on the opposite side of that thing when it fires them all in unison. I gotta say, for the very first water-type Pokemon that appear on the Pokedex, they sure make a big splash. And I always will say, I like turtles. After all, Squirtle, Wartortle, and Blastoise are my favorite turtles to be in the game. Well, I guess water turtles, but who knows, maybe we'll get some new ones in the future. I'm also curious to know about what Quaxly will turn into. Maybe that might overtake Squirtle, but that's a very hard pedestal to overturn. So I want to hear from you guys. Is Squirtle, Wartortle, and Blastoise your favorite starter water line, or do you prefer another? Also, did you go for Squirtle when you did, or did you go for Charmander or Bulbasaur? Remember, there's nothing wrong if you did. It's your choice of who you want to go with as a starter. Also, do you think that Blastoise would look good with a Steel or a Fighting type through Mega Evolution? I really would love to know. I just want to say, thanks for tuning in, you guys. I hope that you're excited for the rest of Summer Splash. And if you like what you saw, please leave a like. If you have an idea of a water-type Pokemon you want me to cover this month, or for one you want me to cover in the future, please comment. And as always, if you like what you saw, hit the subscribe button. And always, share with a friend if you want to, if you think they'd like the stuff. Thanks for watching. Palm out.